Hey guys, Sweet and Sour have finally made an FPL and we want you to get involved.
Absolutely. Cash prizes for first, second, and third, along with random prizes throughout the entire season. So, what are you waiting for? Come and show us what you've got.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Sweet and Sour Soccer. It's another episode of our weekly predictions before that dreaded summer break. It's just Harry Redknapp summed this up perfectly, didn't he, years ago in that viral clip where it's a dead fortnight. Just get rid of internationals.
You hate international breaks, don't you? Even after the Euros, you still
even
hate
after
them.
the Euros. Now it's gone. We're not going to get to a final for another 50 years, so just be done with them. So while it's here, while we've got one more week of Premier League football, we've got to make the most of it. These are our predictions. Now, normally we have two guests on, sometimes, hoping at least one. However, everyone's busy. It's been a bit last minute notice. So first week after internationals, we are going to get Mike on from the Blue Boys Network. So big up, Mike. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's dive into the predictions as always. We're going to bring them up on a table. We're going to go through everyone else's predictions as well at the end, as well as showing the dreaded league table. Let's just say that someone on this channel is going to be a lot happier than the other one. So, yeah, if you've not watched before, basically we've got 7 streamers. Where 2 of them obviously are part of this league. So, anyway, let's enough of that. Let's jump straight into these predictions. We're going to talk through them.
We are going to go through them, and I know that you're absolutely frothing at the mouth to get your little facts out that you think are going to help you in this. Wait till you see the table later, guys. Honestly, it's a sight.
I'm completely contradicting myself on some of them. And that brings me straight to the Man City Arsenal one. In fact, City have kept clean sheets in 6 of the last 7 against Arsenal, which kind of puts you and a couple of other people probably talking more sense. But I just think now Arsenal are it was against West Brom reserves. I think the goals they got, they'll go in with a bit of confidence, a bit of fight. I don't think it'll be enough to beat City, but I do see them getting a goal.
It's just shocking, isn't it? Arsenal aren't going to score. They're not going to win. And Man City are not going to score 2. Move on.
They've also lost that last 8 in the league, by the way, just so anyone wants to dispute our score. The stats say that we're right.
For what? What was that? I missed that.
Arsenal, they've lost the last 8 in the league against City.
I'm surprised it's only 8. You didn't need to tell me that result. That's a foregone conclusion. We've wasted too long on this result. Even Arsenal fans would be thinking, bloody hell, hurry up, lads. I mean, we know who's going to win this one. Let's move on to Villa Brentford. I've gone for a home win. Not a convincing one, though, I must say.
No, it's been a bit of one of them, hasn't it? Both obviously picked up a win now. The Ings goal was a thing of beauty, that overhead kick. Brentford looked impressive against Arsenal, but obviously didn't back that up the next week, really. Interesting fact that Villa have actually never lost to Brentford, and I think they've never lost in the top flight of competition. So that's an interesting one. But at the moment, obviously, in the Championship, Brentford have been a bit of a bogey team for Villa. So, in recent history, Brentford could be picked to get the win here. But I've gone for a straight draw.
Contradicting yourself again, then. I like it. This is what this channel is all about. And again, I've gone for a draw with Brighton and Everton. Two teams that have started the season well. I've got a funny feeling that Brighton will take the lead, but I think Everton will bring it back, obviously, after what happened at the weekend where they got pegged back by Leeds. I think they'll get one back against Brighton.
Yeah, you're interesting that you've gone for a draw. Actually, in the last 5 fixtures, they're also drawing as well. They've both won 2, drawn 1 in the last 5 fixtures. I think Brighton maybe look at a touch more convincing defensively. Obviously, we've had Duffy has been an entry into our team of the week both weeks now. I think Brighton are one of those, aren't they, for me? They've just to continue to improve under Graham Potter, and I think they're going a bit under the radar, to be honest. I think they'll finish quite high, possibly even a top 10 finish this year. So, I
Really?
do think Everton, it'll be a very close game, but I'm just tipping Brighton because of that home factor.
It's two managers that are quite similar. Like you wouldn't say Potter is as defensive minded as Rafa, and it's kind of an insult to Rafa. Rafa's not defensive minded; he just likes to get the basics done properly. Unlike a lot of managers nowadays, whether it's Bielsa or Arteta, nowadays almost losing gracefully is almost as important as winning ugly, which is nonsense. But I think Potter's, for me, so underrated. I think this will be an interesting clash against two managers that really understand their teams. Yeah. Moving on to Newcastle Saints. Again, I've gone for 1-1. I was going to change it. I thought, no, I can't have 2 1-1s because if one of the teams win in either game, I'm going to lose points. But I'm thinking, well, I only need 1 to be correct, and I get 3. So that was my...
Yeah, sometimes you've just got to go with your initial judgment, haven't you?
Yeah.
And look, obviously, both teams winless in the league so far. So, unfortunately for both teams, we're predicting that they're going to continue winless. Something that might give Newcastle fans a bit of hope. Southampton have actually only won 1 in the last 5 against Newcastle. So, Newcastle fans need a bit of hope at the moment. So there's their little piece of hope. And
need something.
We've both gone for a 1-1 draw.
And we've both gone for a 2-1 win away for Leicester. What's your thinking behind that? What do your stats say?
I don't know, actually. I can't actually find my ones about Leicester at the moment. But to be honest, this was more of one where I thought, okay, Leicester obviously they lost. It was pretty much the Perez show, weren't it? Obviously the Monday night fixture, getting himself sent off, looked poor beforehand. I think they're going to come back with a bit of fight. Obviously Norwich have lost both the games so far, but that is quite harsh on them considering the fixtures have had Liverpool and then, of course, Man City. But I do fancy Leicester to come back, especially after the poor result, with a bit of fight and to narrowly. I don't think it'll be a close one, but now it won't be. It'll be a close game, but I think they'll narrowly get that win.
My reasoning for picking Leicester to win is that Perez can't actually play now, so Brendan physically can't choose him to start. So that's why I think they've got a good chance of winning, because they were very unconvincing against us first game of the season. Last week, of course, obviously, as you mentioned, they got pumped 4-1 against West Ham, which, listen, if West Ham would have won 6 or 7, even 7-1, I've seen a few Leicester fan channels beyond the 90 shout out who did say they were happy it was 4-1. It could have been 6.
Could have been more.
It could have been more. So I think Brendan's a very good reactionary manager. He'd have watched that game at least twice, and he'd have had his team checking every blade of grass of that fixture. So I do fancy them to get a win. But like you, I don't think it'll be convincing. The next fixture, I think it speaks for itself, doesn't it? I've put Palace to go down in our season predictions. I said they'll go down bottom. You think they'll go down unless they sack Vieira soon.
Apparently, it needs to go.
Apparently, have you heard the reports that Zaha is just like taking the piss out of Vieira to all the players behind his back, or like semi-openly? Like no one thinks he's any good. They're all making fun of him in training sessions. No one takes him seriously.
I hadn't heard that, but Zaha's pretty untouchable, isn't he? He's the Harry Kane of
Palace,
Palace, basically. The bloke's been trying to run out the door for the past 3 or 4 seasons now. But I've got to look. I've gone for a West Ham win. Obviously, top scorers in the league, top of the table. Palace also haven't got a goal in the season yet. Not just the league. They didn't get one in the Carabao Cup. So I think I've gone for a 3-0. I expect West Ham to continue their dominance in terms of scoring, and I don't see Palace fortunes changing.
No, I have to agree with you. I've just gone for 1 goal less. Interesting one now. You've got to say the biggest game of the season so far. Liverpool versus Chelsea. Some people think these will be the third or fourth, first or second. I've seen predictions where Chelsea have been first, second, third and fourth, and the same for Liverpool. So this is a decider as to whether you finish fourth. It could be a title decider. This is a big big gap. I love these juicy fixtures at the start of a season.
Oh,
you
need them, and I mean, for
brilliant.
me personally, I see it as like a battle of the top three places. I don't see either of them finishing fourth. Some people wrote off Liverpool, but they've just proven Van Dijk coming back, having Matip back, how strong defensively they now look.
Gomez, Thiago, Henderson, yeah, absolutely. Mane's on the score sheet now, who had a terrible season last season. You've just gone for Chelsea to pip it, though. I don't see it, especially at Anfield.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, this was just more of a feeling. I think Chelsea have looked incredibly strong. I think there's going to be mixed results between us, when we move on to the other people's predictions as well. I just fancy Chelsea just to nip it. I think Tuchel's had his players longer. Lukaku looks to just have slotted straight into that team as well. So, yeah, just narrowly pipping it for me.
What about Leeds? We've both gone for the same result. Is it more to do with Burnley's lack of scoring or the fact that Leeds are scoring?
I think it's due to Leeds scoring, aren't they? Of course, they've conceded 7 goals already this season, so people might scratch their heads about the clean sheet. But,
I don't see where Burnley's goals are coming from. I know they've got Barnes and I know they've got Woods, but I just don't see Dwight McNeil. I don't see it yet. I just don't see where they're going to get goals.
Well, it was the same last season as well, against Leeds. Leeds won both of those fixtures, and both of them they managed to keep clean sheets. So I just went to follow that pattern.
Yeah, I just don't. I fear for Burnley this season. I think you had them to go down, didn't you, in the predictions?
I did. They're looking to sign a player from I believe it's Marseille, who is a bit out of the usual Sean Dyche view of players he usually goes for. But yeah,
they've just signed Aaron Lennon, haven't they? They've re-signed him. Aaron Lennon, they've just re-signed him.
And Aaron Lennon, no, Cornell. I think it's Cornell or something like that from the French league. 15 million winger, so should be interesting that one. Let's move on to Spurs Watford, because obviously this is a talking point. I've gone for a Watford win, and I've mainly done this because Spurs have had the least possession and by quite a way in both of their fixtures so far. Nuno's done well, let's be fair to him, on hitting City and ourselves really on the counter at times. Of course, there's been Wolves fans. But yeah, I fancy Spurs aren't going to be able to do that against Watford. They're going to need to have more football. And Nuno's past relationship with him, me being a Wolves fan, this is the kind of games that he'd struggle to break teams down and would sometimes draw or lose it. So I've followed that usual fashion.
You're just salty about Nuno, aren't you? You wanted him out the door for the whole of last season. You've turned your back on God, and he came to the Molineux, stunk the place up, and walked away down the M6 with 3 points. I don't see anything but... Listen, I don't think Spurs are going to pull up trees this season. I don't see Watford getting anything out of this game. I think they're going to be very expansive. I know they did well in the first game against... It was Villa. They beat 3-2, lost last week, and I just see another defeat. And, of course, I think I'm 99% sure Harry Kane's going to start, and he'll have a point to prove.
Well, they've only won 1 in the last 10 Watford have in the league, but both the previous meetings, of course, last time were both draws. So, yeah, the stats are more in your favour. It was more just a feeling for me. And, the same goes for my next one. I've gone for a Wolves 2-1 win against United. We looked absolutely fantastic in the Cup. United have had big news of Scott McTominay obviously having to have groin surgery. Massive blow for them. Who's going to step in? Maybe Vanny say it for me. It's gone.
Donny van der Beek.
That's the one. Obviously he may step in. But yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
One. This is going to be a really close game. I think we both probably agree on this. I've gone Wolves to pip it, especially at home.
Yeah, the home aspect and the crowd being. I think we're the last game of the weekend, aren't we? So. I do feel like we'll grab our first goal of the season as long as the chance doesn't fall to Adama. But I just don't see it. You've got to think after what happened last week, Sancho will start. I'm pretty certain of that. And I also saw reports today that apparently Varane has had a second good week in training. And again, after what happened against Southampton, there is no way that Ollie is going to risk another, well, I was going to say another draw, lost points effectively, just drop points. And, you can imagine if City have got 9 points out of 9, Leicester or Liverpool or Chelsea could have 9 out of 9.
Yeah,
you can't have United on 4 or 5 points after 3 games. So he's going to bring out the big guns.
But as you know, I'm not a massive fan of Ollie. But one thing that would obviously reassure United fans is Wolves have had the second most shots on target, shots in general, 42 shots so far in the first.
We played well.
Only 9 of those have been on target.
Well, that's the thing, and we'd have more on target and more goals if we didn't have a certain winger. Guys, those are our predictions. The video isn't over yet. We're going to show you everyone else's who is part of this mini streamers league. But let us know in the comments out of these two, which ones you think has got
the most points. Yeah, right. Let's move on to the other guys.
So here we are. So does any on that screen jump out at you, Scott? Obviously, we've got a draw for Mike for Wolves United. Brad's gone for a 1-0 win as well.
Yeah, Brad going for that 1-0 win stands out. Obviously, it's very even again, isn't it? With Chelsea and Liverpool fixture, there's definitely a mixture of
except for
Doug.
There. But Doug is a Liverpool fan.
Everyone on the screen's gone for a 3-0. Everyone's backed your result when it comes to Man City. They're all saying a 3-0 defeat, which is really interesting. So if that happens from the prediction league, I'm going to be ruined, aren't I? Because everyone's getting 3 points and I'm getting nothing. Apart from that, they're all pretty. From what I could see, Burnley beating Leeds from Mike. That's an interesting one as well.
Doug's also gone for a 2-0 Liverpool win, but we should say go and check him out. Amazing channel. He's a Liverpool fan though, so I like his confidence in his team. Coming on to the last 3 guys, Michael's gone for a 4-1 Arsenal win, so he's broke the mould. Tommy thinks it'll be close like you.
Tommy's agreed with me. He'd love to see it. Tommy speaks sense, doesn't he? Interesting.
Well, he's also gone for
both Tommy and Ant have both gone for 1-1 draws. Have gone for draws rather, Wolves United, which is interesting. And Ant's backed, I think it was Mike's call of it. He's gone for a 1-0 Burnley win against Leeds.
He's also backed his own team to smash Watford 4-1. I mean, I could see it. I could see Watford getting a goal. I could see Kane getting a hat trick. It could happen. I just don't think it will. But you know what you've noticed with these predictions now? They're all you're starting to see more and more of the same results because we're seeing the teams more, aren't we? The first week, it was wild.
Everyone's getting a flavour for it, and that's going to be interesting. Of course, last one I want to quickly point out is Newcastle. Mike, who's a Sunderland fan, has actually backed Newcastle to win, so that's interesting in itself. Moving on to the league standing, guys, as you could see, I've got some fighting to do. I need to come back. James nearly had double the points of me. What more can I say? I'm just going to hand it over to James to celebrate his league victory for half a minute before we finish.
I'm not going to say much. I'm just going to let the screen do the talking. I said this on.
Take it off that screen. Guys, massive thanks for watching. Make sure you tune into the next one. We will have guests on. I think it's going to be Mike on the next one for the Blue Boys Network. And as always, we shall see you on the next one.